Jeff, have you been able to? Were you able to talk to Markelle before the trade, and how's his health doing? How's he improving?
After the trade. Yeah, no, he's really excited. He's thrilled to be part of the Magic, and looking forward to getting out of here and starting his journey with our team. Obviously, he's dealt with a lot, and I think he's looking at this as a fresh start, and he's really excited about it.
Jeff, Steve Kyler, Basketball Insiders. With so many transactions, how do you sort through it all as an organization? How do you pick Markelle Fultz?
Well, the first part, trade deadline is just a crazy period. You're not really kind of targeting as much as you are just having conversations, and it's like the weeks and even months leading up to the draft. We were having conversations in the last hour of the deadline today that were probably started months ago. That's just the nature of it. And then some just kind of pop up the last couple of days, and you pursue those. And you really have to kind of try to do your due diligence on everything, and then try to figure out as you go what's real, what could possibly really be there. And when you get down to the final hours of it, you kind of start to begin to realize what is real and what isn't. And we were very excited when we saw that this one could be real. And we had been looking for an opportunity like this. We, like the rest of the league, thought very highly of Markelle at the draft. And, we were just, very happy when it turned out to actually be there for us to execute.
Jeff, Josh Robbins, The Athletic. What is Markelle's ceiling, and do you have any question that he can pass a physical?
Let me answer the second part first. No, I don't have any doubt that he'll pass our physical. I think that Markelle's ceiling is, well, put it this way, he was the number one pick in the draft. And so I think his ceiling is exceptionally high. I think that he's a 20-year-old player with tremendous potential, and I feel confident in saying that I feel the league looks at him that way as well, not just us.
Jeff, Roy Perry with your Orlando Sentinel. How do you see him fitting in here moving forward, and what is the timetable for getting him here in Orlando?
Well, as far as him fitting in here, we always say we try to bring in not just the player but the person. And all the background work that we did on Markelle prior to the draft, in the days leading up to today, have just informed us that he's an exceptional young guy. He's team-oriented, he's coachable, he's a hard worker, he's a competitor, he's kind of got all the ingredients that you're looking for. As to the timetable, you guys have heard me say this to the point where you probably don't want to hear me say it again, but I will anyway. We're going to do it right. We are not going to do it fast. And I think that there's kind of like almost like a quirky alignment with Markelle's journey and ours, where I would apply that directly to him. We look forward to getting him in here, getting our arms around him, understanding everything that he's dealing with, and getting him through that. It's our job organizationally, from the performance directors to the coaches to all of us, to put him in a position to succeed. And however long that takes, that's how long it'll take.
Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. Jeff, now that the trade deadline has come and gone, the buyout, season kind of transition. You don't have a roster spot open right now, but do you anticipate your team, being involved at all and looking at anybody in the buyout market around the league?
Typically the buyout market is really for the teams that are expected to be in the finals and kind of the last teams standing. The high-level players want to go and attach themselves to those teams. We will be vigilant in upgrading our roster if we see an opportunity, as we always are. But I'm not sure that that's in our future or not. We'll have to see in the next couple of days what opportunities present themselves.
Jeff, understanding that you said you're going to not going to do it fast, you intend to do it right. Is there a chance that Markelle will play this season?
Once again, I can't put a timetable on that. We want to get him in here. We want to understand where he is with regards to a lot of different programs and functionality, and make sure that he's comfortable in his progress towards reaching his goal, which is to be first an NBA player, and then an excellent NBA player, and then one of the best NBA players. And so, for us, it's a step-by-step progression, and we have to understand where he is on that progression. And the first step is just getting him in here, getting our arms around him, and getting him with our guys.
Yeah, Jeff, a lot of people are saying this is a low-risk, high-reward type of deal. Do you agree with that? And also, you say you want to see what he's dealing with. Can a player of his stature, who maybe has lost some confidence, who's having physical ailments, can a change of scenery help that?
Well, to answer the first part of your question, Mike, I can definitely say that we feel it's a high reward. I'll let other people assess the kind of risk that we took. I mean, it's there for everyone to make their own assessment of what those picks will be. But there's no question that it's a high reward. I mean, Markelle Fultz was the #1 pick in the draft 2 years ago, and it wasn't a fluke. I mean, I think the whole league had him there, and so we believe that at 20 years old, the sky's the limit for him, and he's got all the ingredients, not just the physical abilities to really blossom. I don't know. You tell me. Change of scenery probably does all of us some good sometimes, and he's been through a lot. And he was the #1 pick, so there's that associated with everything that he's going through. And I think that hitting the reset button, coming to an organization where we are going to try to put him in the best possible position to succeed. We're hoping that is the first step to getting him to where he needs to be.
Jeff, Markelle's only played 33 games in 2 seasons. What have you seen when you've maybe actually looked at film of him in league play?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mackenzie. Markelle has even through his struggles, has shown glimpses of why he was such a high pick. He gets shots very easily. He sees the floor. He covers ground. This is one of these guys who can track you down from behind in defensive transition and block your shot as a guard. And he's shown a lot of those glimpses. Clearly, he's had some issues that he's dealt with, and so he hasn't been able to really establish that rhythm and kind of get that consistency that I know he's dying to show everybody. But that's hopefully coming here.
Jeff, the team did not trade 2 of its unrestricted free agents to be Vucevic and Ross. To what degree is that a risk for the team not to trade them now when they could potentially go elsewhere, wherever they choose, without the team receiving potentially anyone or any draft pick in return?
I would never look at it as a risk to not trade somebody. As I was saying to Steve, we have conversations and dialogue continuously throughout the year. It gets ramped up this time of year, and we try to understand what other teams are trying to accomplish. Both of those guys are good players, and they're good people, and they enjoy playing for the Magic. And I don't know what the future will bring this summer. Obviously, we'll have discussions with their people at the appropriate time, but I think the idea of putting guys on the block and all this sort of stuff is a little bit of a misconception of the way that the deadline works. It's not like that. It's discussions, it's dialogue, and it's finding partners and advancing your team. And we have discussions with everybody in the league about everybody on all of our teams. That's just what happens now. But I would never look at it as a risk. I mean, we have good players, and we'll see what happens this summer. Every team has free agents, and every free agent doesn't get traded. So, the most important for us right now is to focus on the remainder of the season. We're 4 games out of the playoffs, and focusing our energies on trying to make the playoffs.